Hello, ladies and gentlemen. While we wait for episode 5 of World Conquest, got a bit tired of a single player campaign, therefore I played a ladder game versus Daniel BR. Always a great player to play against simply because he is really aggressive. I am really aggressive, so the name of the game is Aggression, so it's going to be a really interesting game, I can tell you, as far as I can remember. So let's just dig in, and you don't have to wait a long time before you are going to see some really high quality action. So I'm going to do here probably full map. Why not? Or not really sure. Each team. Okay, full map. Let's go. So let's see what Daniel BR. So he is dwarf, and look at his recruits. 2 guardsmen, 1 thief, and 1 griffin rider. So this tells me it's a bit paradoxical, right? Because the guardsmen tell me that he needs to be defensive, whereas the thief and the griffin rider tells me that he's going to be offensive. You could also say it's a standard recruit, which you wouldn't be too wrong if you said that, right? So it's a standard recruit. However, if it was a standard recruit, I would have liked to see a fighter here. However, what he's trying to do, I think, is basically take this guardsman here and basically forget about this guardsman here. And then he's thinking, what if I'm going versus orc? So if I'm going versus orc, really these 2 units won't help me. However, guardsman here or here would make my defense so much easier. So I like that. I personally like this. 2 guardsmen, and also it's a very flexible recruit. Now, what am I doing? I'm loyalist, so I like my recruit as well, obviously, because I chose the unit. But I like the fact that I'm going 2 fences. Why? Because fences are really great in these tunnels, right? They have good movement. They can also be used as scouts. They are not that expensive as calves, and they do fare better on this diverse terrain than scouts. And I also get 2 spearmen. Why? Simply because the spearmen are the core of the army. You can never go wrong with spearmen. Why not? And I believe this one is quick, so this one can get this, and this one can get this, and this one can get this, and this one can get here. So it's a nice set of traits all over. Now, what is Daniel BR doing now? He's recruiting 2 more thieves. He absolutely loves thieves, and I can't blame him. It's the only way for dwarf to be aggressive at first night. So this tells me he intends to be quite aggressive. How exactly? Not really sure yet. I mean, I know what happened, but I'm not really sure yet. There's multiple possibilities. He can either put the thieves here in this tunnel and then put a lot of pressure on this village, or he can try a frontal attack. And it would be a bit more difficult here because there are these walls. So it would be relatively easy for me to form a line, and then the thieves would become suddenly useless. So, or he could do both, considering that the thieves are so cost efficient. It's also a risky recruit, because if the first attack doesn't deal enough damage, then these thieves are basically a waste. They die very easily during the day. So we shall see. And I am recruiting more spearmen and a cav. Why? Cav, it's good of reinforcing either side of my defense. Plus, I feel that I do need some scouting, seeing what's coming from as a frontal attack. It's always good to have a cav. And again, never go wrong with spearmen. Let's see what Daniel BR is going to do. He is going to absolutely play non-conventionally here. So he is going to take 3 units to the tunnels. So 1 thief, 1 griffin rider, and 1 guardsman. And he is probably going to place his units in such a way that backstabbing is inevitable. Unless I have 2 units here. But me committing 2 units would mean that my attack would be slow, etc. So really nice move, little move here in the tunnel, putting a lot of pressure early on. And since I didn't scout because I didn't recruit an early cav, I have no idea this is coming. So really well executed. However, because I have the cav, and because the cav is kind of a sturdy scout, I can reinforce with the cav. So it's not that bad as it could have been. if I had, for example, a scout. Although an elvish scout can just take this forest here, it'd be absolutely fine. Okay, let's see how I played it. Now I'm seeing the danger. I saw both these units, so I did the following. I got these villages pretty standard here with the spearmen on forest. So whatever is coming at me, there will be a line here. There will be no backstabbing business happening. One more spearman, because I'm sensing aggressive play and versus mass. I was thinking mass outlaws and the Griffin Rider at this point. I had no idea about the guardsmen. No idea. So I was thinking this is Hoarder with one Griffin Rider thrown in the mix. So I expect waves and waves of units coming frontally, plus this nice attack here with 2 units. So I thought 2 units versus 2 units. I should be fine with proper management and normal luck. And frontally with 4 spearmen, I should be able to close off any possible outlaws. Little did I know that he recruited 2 guardsmen. Why is it important the fact that he recruited 2 guardsmen? Because the guardsmen, they are defensive units by nature, and also they are quite expensive. 19 gold versus 13 gold, that's quite a big difference. Here, I'm not really sure what I saw here, but let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I haven't seen anything yet. So I had not seen anything yet at that time. So let's see what he's doing here. He's attacking me, which is an absolute madness, ladies and gentlemen. So he's attacking me at dusk. He's not even waiting for night. He's not even waiting for nighttime. So his idea was, if I can get a hit with, if he could get a hit with the Griffin Rider, then he would have put this fencer in a difficult position. So he saw as soon as the Griffin Rider hit, he followed up with the thief. However, my fencer is on a village, so I was able to heal most of that damage. I believe that the thief didn't do anything. And also I'm seeing here that the guardsman is coming. He can't hit in next turn, the guardsman, because he's not quick, he's quite slow. So the guardsman is not much of an immediate problem. Yeah. But I still need to deal with these 2 units, which are quite annoying. So the way I did it is basically I put the fencer, because the fencer it's 20, and you see it's quite volatile because it's really it's not a resilient versus sword. I think it's quite if we look here, if we look at the fencer, the HP, right, blade minus 30%, so it's quite vulnerable versus sword. So I was scared that he might get lucky and kill my fencer, because he only needed 1 more hit from the Griffin Rider and 1 more hit from the thief. So from this perspective, I was keen on putting the cavalryman on the village, simply because the cavalryman, right, as we all know, it has blade plus 30%. So a lot of difference, and vulnerability and resistance really counts. So also what I wanted to do here is basically, I realized at this point, because I saw this guardsman, I realized he does not have that much gold. So even if I'm seeing 2 thieves here, that's basically it. There's no way he can sustain an army with a Griffin Rider and a guardsman. And I'm not sure whether I saw this other guardsman as well. I think I did not. Or did I? No, I didn't. I didn't yet. But I basically saw the guardsman and the Griffin Rider, and I said, this cannot be a big army. So there's no way he has a lot of units. This is just dust in my eyes. And this is something that you should try to guess. You should try to intuitively assess about an aggressive opponent. Is he actually bluffing, or does he have the army to back it up, this aggression? And when I saw the guardsman, I thought there's no way he has the army to back it up. So if you look at this spearman, he can hit this thief. This spearman can also hit this thief. So I have 2 thieves, I have 2 spearmen on this thief, which is 24 HP. It's a quick thief. So if I just move forward with these 2 and kill this thief, surely I'll be fine. Even if there's something else coming, there will be 2 versus 2 units, and I would be having I wouldn't be having backup, whereas he would have his units in a tunnel somewhere. Plus, I expected a unit here, whatever it was a unit that would have cost gold. If he didn't have a unit, I would have been able to just waltz in with my fencer. So from this perspective, I thought, well, he's bluffing, and it's dusk. He's way too aggressive. He should have at least waited for night. If it's dusk, I can just move forward, deal my damage, and then he will basically have a wounded army that is useless at night. Plus, it's not a big army anyway, due to its cost. So, from this perspective, I said, I'm going to attack this thief, and I'm going to attack this Griffin Rider. And I went first with the cav. I got 2 hits now, so all I needed now was 2 hits with the fencer. Fencer 70%, that is pretty good. Attacking with the fencer 70%. Even if I got hit once, it wouldn't have been a problem. So I went with the fencer, and I said to myself, if I kill this Griffin Rider, basically his attack is null and void. He can't really do anything with the thief and with the guardsman. Plus, Griffin Rider is a very expensive unit. Even if I hurt it, he won't risk it versus a fencer that it's not on a village. He might risk it versus a fencer that's on a village because he gets the fencer, he gets the kill and the village at the same time, but he won't risk it on a fencer that's on 70%. So I went for it, and it paid off. And basically now we both know, both me and Den of Onis know, the game is pretty much over. So when I saw that this one was a guardsman instead of a footpath, I said to myself, yeah, this is definitely a good move pushing forward here. So 19 plus 19, 38 plus 24, that is what I cannot do. So 38 plus 24, that is 62, if I'm not mistaken. So 62 plus 26, that is 88, plus 13, that is already 101. So basically this, what I see is what I get plus a recruited unit. Whatever that is, doesn't really matter. It's too far away to have any impact. So I went for it, went for that thief, and after I saw 2 hits from 50%, I committed the other spearman from 40%. He only needed 1 hit, and there it is, ladies and gentlemen. 2 units killed, attack stopped in its tracks, and 1 more cavalryman. Why? Because cavalryman is great versus thieves, because he can reinforce quickly and has mobility, and for all sorts of reasons I'm already ahead. Recruiting mass cavs would have basically made sure that I press my advantage even farther. And now he went for the fencer. He did not get the kill. That was perhaps unfortunate. It's a bit, let's see the luck level here. So I inflicted he inflicted plus 21%. We are looking at Den of Onis, and he took plus 15%. So he was not even, he was not even unlucky. This turn, he was a bit unlucky. But overall, it was quite even. And I believe he saw my red mage here. He tried to do here the backstab. I went for the thief, so that's 3 units lost to Den of Onis. At this point, I did not feel like risking. So he couldn't even backstab at this point, because both units would come from this side. So there was no backstabbing chance. I could also retreat all the way. So look how good these fences are. I could basically ignore this unit and retreat all the way to the village and bring the heavy guns, the red mage. So even the cavalryman, why not? Putting more pressure on this thief, as if he did not have enough pressure to perform on his shoulders. At this point, doesn't really matter what I recruit. Fencer, why not? High mobility plus village, and I believe I'm just going to play side turn. Yeah, pushing all my units forward, getting villages as well. This one here cannot really be attacked because he will get the village back. Power of a fencer. And he tried to go for this cav. got the kill, which is a plus for him. Yeah, it's a breath of fresh air. I agree, he will now take the village with the guardsman, which would be quite difficult for me to take back. However, remember, I do have a red mage, and I do have a village of my own, and probably another village in the making here, plus another village here. So I'm not too bothered about this village. I could even ignore it for a while. However, after I am happy with my recruits, I can just move the red mage over here and clear everything. It's not a problem because of my leader. So yeah, I'm healing everything and patiently waiting for daytime when I can actually deal the damage that I need. I don't intend to risk my life in these tunnels, not when I am way ahead. So even with that kill, I am way ahead in terms of gold. And I do have a village here, and I do have units pouring in. And yeah, yet another village. And I think this is when he decided to concede. Yes, so I hope you, ladies and gentlemen, liked it. It was a quite short cast. This is how you deal with aggression. You have to really make sure that your opponent is not bluffing. And most of the time, I personally win a lot of games by bluffing. I'm trying to show my opponent that I'm really strong when I'm actually not, and then I gain some positional advantage that I can leverage later on to gain a bigger, solid, perhaps material advantage, and then win eventually the game. So don't get bullied. Don't get don't be impressed by an opponent that is aggressive. Assess whether he actually has the army to back it up or not. So I shall see you, ladies and gentlemen, shortly with another video on aggressive play.